What's bustin' being there was bustin' Tiapetors. It's your boy Clomilles, aka Bucks the Code. Is back with another bustin' blizzard, man. I hope y'all enjoying y'all day today, folks. For them. So look, check it out. Alright, gang, folks. So look, we got Bruce. What's folks' name, folks? We got Bruce Rivers. I think that's folks' name, folks. Folks Gray, the lawyer, folks, on YouTube, folks. I'm finna keep doing y'all thing, shorty. I'm finna, folks got to stop self snitching. I'm with that. I'm with that movement, folks. Stop self snitching, man.
We are going to be reacting to the Melly case and
Hey, free Melly, man. Bro.
talk to you about what it means to have
Free the real, free. All that.
mistrial and what it means to have a hung jury. But before we get to that, go to contractscounsel.com if you either need a lawyer or if you are a lawyer and you want to do some work where you can make a little dough from home and write contracts for clients who need your services. So go to contractscounsel.com. That's contractscounsel.com. And you can help a lot of people. We got plenty of clients, but not enough lawyers. So go to contractscounsel.com if you are in fact a lawyer, and if you need more information about it, just hit me up. We can get you set up, or go to the link down below at contractscounsel.com. So we're going to react to Melly. First, if you remember, about 7 hours into their deliberation, the jury had a question, so let's go to the question first, and then we'll kind of dovetail that into what is going to happen later. The judge received a note earlier in the week, last week, in the Melly trial, and and a lot of times jurors have questions, and they can be anything from as mundane as, can we get another copy of the instructions, or can we get something to eat, or we want to see a piece of evidence. And in this case, they have a question about being deadlocked. So let's see what the question is.
I want to do is, based on, I received this juror inquiry form that is signed.
Looking for an easy way to get that LLC next to your business name? Say hello to Taylor Brand. You just go to their site, enter your LLC.
Signed by a four-person that reads as follows. State of Florida versus Jamal Devins, case number 19-001-872 CF10A. Check the box, ask the following question. What if we can't come to a decision? Everyone is stuck on which side they've chosen, signed by the four-person.
So whenever they ask a question, sometimes if it's an innocuous question, the judge can just deal with it and send a note back. Like, can we get a transcript? And the answer would just be no, because there is no transcript. But in this case, when they have something like this, everybody has to be assembled. So they bring everybody back into the jury. The defendant is in the jury, or in the courtroom, the defense lawyers, the prosecutor, and the judge. And then they do it in open court. They read the question. Now, they've only been, at that point, when the judge got that question, they've only been deliberating for about 7 hours. That's not really enough time to create cause a mistrial. So let's see how the defense reacted to that.
This decision that Mr. Adelstein brought something to my attention out of the Thomas case, which is a Supreme Court case. And it says, as noted, every Allen charge issue must be decided upon the particular facts and circumstances surrounding an individual case. So that goes to the issue of individuality and whether or not it should be tailored to the circumstances of a particular case. And we're taking a position that mirrors what the Supreme Court has declared, that modification of Allen charges is not foreign, as a matter of fact.
So what he's talking about is an Allen charge. An Allen charge, Allen is just a case. And whenever you hear like a Frank's hearing, or
I did not try to do that shit, folks. So I'm gonna have to close that out, folks. But look, I'm folks great, and I'm not editing that part out either, bro. I'm not editing that, folks. What I just said, that's definitely standing in this bitch. But look, folks, what I was finna say, hey, always do your own research, folks. Don't just listen to somebody blindly, folks. I don't care who they is, folks. You feel me? sometimes you do just gotta just listen, folks. They is telling you the facts though. On bro grind. Like me, I'm hard headed. But at the same time, I listen on fun on grind. Or it's like I'll listen to you, folks. But then some people advice get taken, others don't get what I'm saying on folks grind. Yeah, let me just close this shit out real quick so I gotta do this later on. Brr, brr. Scorching now.
A Dauber hearing, or in this case, an Allen charge, they all relate to a particular case. And an Allen charge is basically the judge saying, okay, guys, I know you think you're deadlocked, but you need to put a little more effort into this. Go back and deliberate some more. So let's see. So we'll listen to the charge.
The Supreme Court has directed that it should be tailored to the circumstances surrounding the individual case, so that we maintain our judgment.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So you want to bring a jury in?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, is this the jury? Bring a jury in?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, is this the jury in relation to the jury? Ladies and gentlemen, two things. First, I received a note from my bailiff did. It's not signed by a foreperson, but it's a note that's handed to him. It says, are we allowed to have Apple Watches? Someone has one from one of the
And that's probably somebody being a tattletale in the jury room.
jury. As I tried to explain to you earlier, all the electronic devices are basically, you're not allowed to have those in the jury room. So we asked our bailiff, Gary, to try to collect them. Does anyone have an Apple Watch? Yes or no? In their possession? I asked.
All courtrooms public, I believe. Bro.
Does anyone have one? No. I see everybody raising their hand for several, waiting their hands showing no. All right, there's no Apple Watches. Thank you.
So that would be that's kind of a dick move if somebody did that. Otherwise, whoever has the Apple Watch is not being truthful to the court and they're putting it in their pocket. That's interesting.
Question. What if we can't come to a decision? Everyone is stuck on which side they've chosen, signed by the foreperson. All right? So what I'd like to tell you, read to you, is an instruction that's called Jury Deadlock 4.1. And it reads as follows. I know that all of you have worked hard to try to find a verdict in this case. It apparently has been impossible for you so far. Sometimes an early...
I picked the software engineering program because they pay very well. It's a fast-paced industry. The boot camp allowed me to keep my job, honestly, and continue working. My end goal was to be able to live in a cool city and have enough money to do fun things and enjoy my life, and I just didn't see any of that in the career I was in. I happened to see a job posting that was in Atlanta, and so I said, I'll just go ahead and apply to this. I jokingly put in like a 6-figure number as what I want for my salary, and they came back with the offer with the exact same number, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of money. It really doesn't matter your current career, what you did in the past, how old you are, or what you're doing now. If you want to change your career and get into tech, it's totally possible.
If you're looking for drug and alcohol treatment, or you just want to work on your mental health, where you live shouldn't matter. Talk to health professionals who understand your needs on your schedule from anywhere. Recovery Unplugged offers virtual drug and alcohol treatment and online counseling for everyone from anywhere. Life is hard. Getting help doesn't have to be.
early vote before discussion can make it hard to reach an agreement about the case later. The vote, not the discussion, might make it hard to see all sides of the case. We are all aware that it's legally permissible for a jury to disagree. There are two things a jury can lawfully do: agree on a verdict or disagree on the facts of the case. Excuse me. There are two things.
So when you're back in the jury room, and and like he says, a lot of times an early vote makes it difficult for you to change your position later on.
That a jury can lawfully do: agree on a verdict or disagree on what the facts of the case may truly be. There is nothing to disagree about on the law. The law is as I told you. If you have any disagreements about the law, I should clear them up for you now. That should be my problem, not yours. If you disagree over what you believe the evidence showed, then only you can resolve that conflict, if it is to be resolved. I have only one request of you. By law, I cannot demand this of you, but I want you to go back to the jury room, then taking turns tell each of the other jurors about any weaknesses of your own position. You should not interrupt each other or comment on each other's views until each of you have had a chance to talk. After you have done that, if you simply cannot reach a verdict, then return to the courtroom and I will declare this case mistried and will discharge you with my sincere appreciation for your services. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now retire and continue with your deliberations.
Wait, so folks, if Melly get a mistrial, that mean folks go home? Fucking a mistrial.
So if they can't come to a verdict, then it's a mistrial. And we'll talk about what happens if that's the case, which it is the case. So let's take a look at what happened later.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. See the jury report. It indicates that after further discussions, reviewing the evidence and speaking freely amongst the jurors, we are still unable to reach a unanimous decision. So at this time, what I'm going to do is just declare this trial mistried and indicate to you that how much we appreciate the fact that you were here.
So they sent a second note into the courtroom saying we can't, and I don't know how many years, like 17 hours later or however many hours, it was yesterday afternoon that they came up with, that they just couldn't come to a decision. And so the judge declared a mistrial. What happens next? Well, when you have a mistrial as a result of this, there's no conviction, right? But the charges are still there pending. So it doesn't get dismissed. So some people say, oh, you only need one juror. No, you don't. You need all 12 to go guilty or not guilty, either way. Now, the prosecutor obviously has the discretion to either retry the case, or they could negotiate the case, or they could just dismiss.
Also, mistrial is when it's like some say guilty, some say not guilty type shit. But in order for them to come to agreement, everybody gotta agree on one. Bro. But if everybody don't agree, they gotta dismiss the case. Basically. I'm guessing, bro.
Case. They're not going to dismiss a double homicide where you're looking at the death penalty. They're just not going to. And Melly probably isn't going to take any kind of deal, because any kind of deal that they would give him would be life without parole, and he's not going to do that.
Little folks not taking that.
So, in all likelihood, they're going to have to try this case again. And where does Melly go when he's doing it? Well, he sits. He sits in jail, like he has been this whole time. And how long has he been in custody? A long-ass time. He's been in there a long, long time. Now,
I thought folks go home. I thought you go home on a mistrial. I thought you can get bond from that. Bro. It's probably depending on the case.
Let's move for bail after this? Sure they could. But I don't think nothing's changed except for the timing of things. And one could argue that he's been waiting so long that he's, presumed guilty before innocent. And that is, but the court has the obligation when somebody is on a case like this to deny bail, generally speaking. And freedom.
Little folks could have got bail. Ooh. Shorty, I ain't gonna lie, that's so big, gang. That's so big. That's so big, I ain't gonna lie, folks.
Freedom is why I love doing apartment deals, just like the one you're seeing on the screen now.
Thank you. I love real estate.
Not an obligation, but that's how they come down. If they deny the bail, they can't be wrong. If they side with the prosecutor, they can't be wrong. You don't want to be soft on crime and be looking at re-election. And so it's an elected office. It's a public office with a public persona, and this is a high profile case. He ain't getting out. Period. Then after this, we got a little bit of a color play-by-play from the defense lawyers. Let's see what they have to say.
Just had the mistrial called, and I need to have both of your reactions.
Obviously, we want to thank the jury for their great efforts that they've extended over this period of time. But we are somewhat disappointed that Melly is not walking out the door with us. That's all I can say for right now.
And David, do you have anything you want to say further?
I don't really have much to add.
Now they trying to have folks go home that day, which I'm not surprised on, bro. Shit. Time will tell though, folks. Do y'all think that man Melly guilty or not guilty? Let me know in the comments down below, folks. I'm full of great, man. Look though, I'm typing out y'all beating them, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all keep y'all head up, stay on point. On full grade. Yeah. Watch the people that you hang around for. Everybody ain't really for you. Oh my brother. Tap in. Let's get it.